Now, it is arguable the actual date of Sandra Dee's birth. Her tombstone actually reads 1942, and then her son wrote a biography on her, and it actually says 1944. So I'm guessing maybe her son knows her well, so we're gonna go with 1944. Needless to say, she went to the professional school for acting class. She's a classically trained actress, and she went there in Hollywood, and then she got her big break in modeling, and from there on she decided she wanted to do acting. Now, she said that she had to grow up very, very fast in Hollywood because she was constantly surrounded by older people, and one thing she learned very, very quickly: if you want it, do not hold back. Now, as I stated, one of my favorite roles for Sandra Dee is actually Gidget, but another one of my absolute favorite roles Sandra Dee has ever played was in the movie Imitation of Life. She's acted amongst some really amazing actors, one of them including one of my personal favorites, Debbie Reynolds. Anyways, Sandra Dee had a really amazing career. She's very loved, very cute, very adorable. She did have a marriage which ended in divorce. The last few years of her life were a little sad, I'm afraid. She did die of kidney failure at the age of 62, but she is buried in Hollywood at a memorial site, and so the rest is history. If you want to see this fabulous lady who did everything she wanted to in life, go check out some of her movies. I highly recommend Imitation of Life and Gidget. So yeah, I'll see you guys later, and thank you for watching. So to get started on this look, I've already taken my Avalon Organics Vitamin C Renewal Revitalizing Eye Cream. Absolutely love this stuff. It's just a really nice sort of like a kind of like a heavy night cream or so for the eyes. Perfect for anyone of all ages. The Gabriel Eye Primer in the shade Neutral, just to create a barrier between my natural skin and eyeshadow. Started on this eye look, I'm going to be taking my Too Faced Boudoir Eyes palette. This is really great tin of kind of cool toned eyeshadows, which I think are perfect from anywhere from the 50s to the 70s. And I'm going to be taking my Dotting Tool 785, which is a green tapered bamboo brush. I'm going to begin taking in the buff, and we're just going to place this underneath the arch of the brow bone and then blend it down a little ways. A little bit of Sugar Walls, which is just this really cool tone shimmery shadow. I'm going to be popping it on with the Dotting Tool 772. Pack this on the eyelid just to get a very nice wash of color and make the eye pop. A lot of eye looks back then were very simple, but every celebrity kind of had their sort of look. Now I'm going to be going ahead and taking a little bit of Lap Dance, which is just this really sort of slightly darker sort of grayish color at the bottom. So you see this has a lot more taupe Sugar Walls compared to Lap Dance. So we're just going to start by taking this color in the outer corner of the eye. She didn't really rock like a smoky eye before her time, but she had a little bit more of an eye going than some of the celebrities in her time. I'm going to take just a touch of Satin Sheets to open up this eye. I don't want it to appear too dark as an end result. Now my eyes are very watery due to the wind, so I didn't want to walk you through like a mess of watery eyes, so I'm going to talk you through the eyeliner a bit. I've noticed Sandra Dee has anywhere from like a very innocent, almost no waterline sort of I'm on the beach today, so I'm not messing with it, to a very sultry sort of bedroom eye, but like very, very innocent still. It's like very, I don't know, feminine, soft, sexy, elegant. So I took the Zuzu Luxe eyeliner in the shade Obsidian and then just lightly lined the waterline. Doesn't need to be jet black or heavy or anything like that. But I didn't really do a lot of jet black heavy liner in her time. Now for the upper lash line, I took the Tarte Amazon Clay waterproof eyeliner in the shade Black. This stuff is great, but I'm going to switch it up and try something new real soon. The Sephora Bent Angle Liner brush. This is one of my favorite brushes. And I just lined the upper the upper lash line. I start in the center, and then when I start running out of gel, I then go to the front. You don't want to start in the front and you'll end up with too much gel, you know, coming into your inner tear duct and stuff. I did a very small flick. Sandra Dee's eyes are a bit more small and slightly hooded, so I didn't want to do too strong a flick either. My eyes are a little bit bigger, so I don't want to make this like a costume makeup tutorial, just a celebrity recreate. So I pulled a flick out to frame my eye, but hers is very fine. Now when you're finishing off the tail, one thing I did here was just sort of slightly smudge out the tail rather than creating another thick winged line, which would be a lot more Dita Von Teese than anyone else really. We will take some time out to do the face, so I'm going to start by applying the Ole Henriksen Perfect Truth CC Cream. Now this CC cream is extremely lightweight. I've actually heard from other people that BB creams are lighter than most CC creams, so this is, this particular product in general is just very sheer, just a heads up. And I'm just going to take the Volume Tools 957 and pat that over my face. Now she does have a very youthful, young, perfect complexion, so I'm going to be taking the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer and this shade, what is this? Fair. I have this shade Fair, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm not sure if that's relevant. My complexion on camera, it does look a little different than it does in person. Up underneath here. Kind of clean it up. Sandra Dee has just this gorgeous, perfect complexion. The Inglot AMC Under Eye Corrective Illuminator. This is not really a concealer. It's more or less like a matte illuminator, and this is the shade 51. Gonna pump that up. It really only needs a couple clicks. I probably went too far. So I usually just keep going until the amount I pumped up is kind of used. I typically don't do the forehead because I have bangs, but for those of you who don't, and Sandra Dee has bangs, so it's probably not necessary, but predominantly you want to focus on here, and maybe if you want to do more of like a Sandra Dee goes to the beach, you can always add, you know, like some sort of like a dewy toner or something. Now for the cheeks, I'm going to be taking the Josie Maran Coconut Water Cheek Jelly. This is the shade Poppy Paradise. Just a really lightweight, gorgeous flush. I noticed she doesn't really wear any like extremely highly visible face color, and this is such a lightweight, perfect like pinch cheek color. So this is what I'm taking. Now she is so like shiny here on the cheek. I'm going to be adding a little bit of Josie Maran Argan Illuminator in gold, and this pretty much looks just like Benefit's Moonbeam when you blend it out. I like this color too because I think it will look great on many of you ladies as well. Now I'm going to be going ahead and taking a little bit more Lap Dance, and I'm just going to smudge this underneath the lower lash line so we don't just have like a harsh line of black liner. I'm now going to be taking the Tarte Lights Camera Flashes Statement Mascara. I love this stuff. It looks like false lashes in a bottle. That's basically the wand. Sandra Dee has heavier brows than me, so I'm going to fill in my brows with the Alamasca Brow Cake in Motto. I've already applied the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the shade Blonde. So I'm just going to be setting the face now with Pumpkin Poppy Oil Absorbing Mineral Veil. Now we don't want to knock out all the work that we just put into creating like a very dewy, beautiful look. So I'm just going to lightly set each section of the face at a time. Now, Sandra Dee has two iconic lips, so we're going to be doing an alternate lip at the end of this. And now one thing to take would be a lip scrub. I like to take my Lush Popcorn Lip Scrub. It's basically sugar. What I like about this one is it takes a couple years to expire. You can always do a do-it-yourself version of this. There's tons of recipes on Pinterest. So do that in the beginning and then put a lip conditioner on so your lips are ready to go by the time you get to here. So for getting started on the lips, I'm going to begin by outlining them with Inglot Soft Precision Lip Liner in the shade 67, which is just a matte sort of fresh pink. You want to do the outline before all the lip gloss and stuff is on. Reason being, when you go in and you try to put lip liner over the fact that you've already filled in your lips with color, it starts to become sort of like a large wet mess. Ilamasca's Lipstick in Climax. This is one of my favorite nudes. If you can't tell, I don't think I've worn any lipstick down this far. This is sort of a dupe of Urban Decay's Lipstick in Naked, which is basically a dupe of the MAC's discontinued Cute Stir. And lastly, Too Faced Sexy Mother Pucker in the shade Candy Gloss. I think this is scented like, I can't remember. This is basically what I see when I see Sandra Dee, is this really gorgeous pink lip. I think that this is very, very close to her actual like iconic Gidget look, but that one is also a lot more peachy as well. So we're gonna go into the actual Gidget lip. I'm now gonna go ahead and take Inglot Soft Precision Lip Liner 68, and we're just gonna run this over the lips. I'm taking the Lit Cosmetics Vanilla. It's a softer white than the Obsessive Compulsive and a bit creamier. So it will glide on to the lips a bit easier. So now I'm going to go ahead and take Inglot Lipstick 104, the peachy one. Inglot Lip Gloss in 35 to darken it up a bit because it is like more of like a medium peach. This is more of her Hawaiian Babe California Girl lip, and she even has another one, I think. It's very orange red, so I think we'll just stick with those two for now because the eye is way different for the orange red lip. So I'll see you guys later, and thank you for watching.